The other night, Republicans in Texas successfully primaried John Cornyn. They got Ken Paxton. And they're feeling pretty good about that. At least the Trump faction of the Republican Party is feeling pretty good about that. However, if you take a deeper look at the numbers, it wasn't a very hope-worthy night for the Republicans.
And I want you to look at this because I think it's one of the most revealing bits of data to come out of last night. So look at Starr County, Texas. It's right there. It sits on the border with Mexico. It's actually the county in the U.S. with the highest proportion of Hispanic residents in the entire country, according to the 2020 census. Now, Starr County famously flipped to Donald Trump in the last election after more than a century of voting Democratic. It was a huge deal. Donald Trump won Starr County by 15 points. And it was widely, and I think correctly seen, as evidence of Trump's strength with Hispanic voters in that 2024 election. So if you looked just at the percentages of last night's Senate runoff in Starr County for the Republican nomination, you'd say Donald Trump is still dominating, right? This is Starr County. His candidate beat Cornyn there by nearly 50 percentage points. But what's that percentage based on? How many Republicans actually turned out to vote in this runoff? Well, virtually none. 90 votes in all. That's not a typo. That's not a mistake. 90 out of 36,000 registered voters in Starr County. In a county where Donald Trump won 9,500 votes just 2 years ago. In fact, in that same county, Starr County, in a single Democratic primary for a local judge back in March, more than 13,000 Democrats turned out to vote. If you're doing the math in your head, that's a lot more than 90. Those numbers are why Democrats are feeling, well, let's say relatively optimistic about this being a real race, about the possibility of flipping that Texas Senate seat, possibly the Senate itself.
Now, listen, I'm still not holding my breath that Texas is going to flip blue because it's Texas. You know, I give it about as much of a chance of flipping blue as I do Florida or Ohio, but that's not a good set of numbers for the Republicans right there. 36,300 plus registered voters and 90 people voted in the Republican primary there. Once again, it's not indicative of Texas turning blue, but it is indicative of people getting tired of the Trumpist play. And if you can only push 90 people to the polls for a primary that could ultimately end up deciding the fate of the entire Senate makeup, then people are done hearing your message. You're not resonating with people anymore. That's 90 people? Jesus Christ. I had more than 90 people vote for me when I ran for Park District Commissioner. Come on, man.